सभी रिश्ते नाते चलूं मैं तुम्हारे ही संग हंसते गाते, संग हंसते गाते तेरा ही।
So I'm Shanti. Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to today's session of our class from Dr.Nirmala. And the topic of this class today is my role at this time of transformation and settlement. I'm sure most of us have a good idea of what it is, but it's always good to be reminded. And so Didi, on behalf of all of the class today from Asia and Australia, and mainly Perth, I'd just like to give you a bunch of flowers. They just came from they just came from our garden in Perth, which is blooming very nicely. And for those of you who don't know Dr. Nirmala, then just a little bit of background is Dr. Nirmala has been in Guyana. I was just counting on my fingers. Is it nearly 65 years since she come to Baba, Didi? 1962. That's a long time, isn't it? Yeah. And she currently is based in Guyana Sarover as the main spiritual administrator there. And she's also the administrator of, or the coordinator of, or is it the coordinator of Australia and Asia? So we're really lucky to be able to tune in by Zoom and have some spiritual sustenance. And so I'd like to welcome you, Didi, and to start the class, my role at the time of transformation and settlement.
Om Shanti. Brahmins have to play a very important role during this time because it's a time for changing Kali Yuga to Satyug, Tamo Pradhan to Sato Pradhan, hell into heaven. Baba says, I can't do alone. I need help of all of you children. So we are the helpers to change not only ourselves, other human beings, but even nature. So in order to be Sato Pradhan, we have to be all virtuous, completely viceless, 16 celestial degrees complete, completely non-violent, Maryada Purushottam. And naturally, when we are uplifted, we are able to help others also to be uplifted. So we have got a big responsibility at this time that not only we pay attention to ourselves, but uplift others also. So today also Baba was talking about Karmatit stage, where we are performing karma, but remaining detached and loving, having feeling. That's Baba is Karavanhar, I am instrument, and remaining very light through mind, intellect, and sanskar. And dadis have performed the role of making others Aus.Fam. Baba made Dadis Aus.Fam. And Dadis made us Aus.Fam. So we are very thankful to Mama, Baba, and Dadis who have gone to advanced party, who have totally dedicated their life to uplifting everybody. Now, question is, Avyakta Murlis are featuring the year of Tapasya. At this time, Baba was telling us to prepare the season's Murli. What is the most important thing we need to really get ready for the final times? As we know, our final paper will be totally detached and remembering only one. So we have to be detached from body, bodily relations, and our possessions. Nothing is mine. We dedicate everything to Baba. Everything belongs to Baba. We use it as trustees. And remember one Baba only. So our aim should be sitting yoga for 8 hours and increasing time. Because ultimately, Baba says, you have to be 24 hours in Baba's remembrance. So never forget our aim to become Bab Sama. Second question is, many new ones have come to Baba and says lots so fast. How much Bab focus do old and new ones have to have at this time? For example, Gyan, Yoga, Service, and Dada. If old ones do less, will it be harmful for them stage-wise? Whoever is there, whether they are old ones or new ones, they have to make intense effort. Soul consciousness all the time. And Baba has been emphasizing, give happiness, receive happiness. Don't give sorrow, don't take sorrow. Especially today also Baba was emphasizing, don't give excuse that so and so did so, that's why I felt hurt. No, if somebody is giving you rubbish, will you accept it? Same thing, if somebody gives you rubbish, abusing, defaming, don't take it. You remain in self-respect. And those who are abusing, meet them and embrace them with love. And that also, it should be from our heart, not from outside. So people in the Kali Yuga will be negative, no doubt. But I should not accept their negativity. I should remain observer and detached, and above all, don't hear evil, don't see evil, don't think evil, don't do evil. Next question is, Baba wants us all to have the same thought at the same time. How can we prepare for this? For example, do global programs make a big impact, or is it just a few out of the few who reach this unity of thought? Yes, global programs will make impact. Naturally, 99% will not have that same thought at the same time. But whoever is able to make it, naturally, they will add that positive power for transformation. Next is, so much karma is being settled worldwide, even in BK family. Is soul consciousness the main knowledge we need to understand as we watch all this settlement? What we have to do is remain observer of the drama and people's karma and remain detached but loving. If somebody is settling karma, whatever cooperation we can give, thoughts, words, actions, we should try to give them. Serve them with real heart, with kindness, compassion, and yoga. Because even if you are not able to do on a physical level, you can at least help them with yoga power. And our yoga power may create powerful, peaceful atmosphere which can help sick people. Next question is karma still being created in the world? Yes. Day by day, more karma are created. How, as a BK, do I make sure I am not creating any more? BK life is paying full attention to our thoughts, words, and action. that we don't have negative thoughts, we don't talk with harsh or insulting tone, and we don't hurt anyone by violence. So we have to be totally voiceless, to not perform any vikarma. How can I finish and get out of the entanglements of karmic accounts? In order to finish our karmic account, what we have to do is increase silence power. Not to waste my thoughts, words, or energy by deep tapasya and suffering. Because naturally, we have to settle with yoga power and sickness. So when we are sick, don't blame anyone, don't complain to anyone, but with pleasure, clear that karmic account that okay, now no more punishment through Dharamra. Next question is, science is progressing very rapidly and makes living very easy. Weapons are also being invented that are more and more destructive. Baba uses the term a lot of detached observer. What can I do to keep my detachment steady and stable? Remain observer of drama and whatever is happening, even if it is happening to me, don't think that it is happening to me. It's happening to my body, and don't allow any churning on what is happening. Don't react to whatever is happening. And just remain observer. Baba wants us not to get trapped by the facilities. Use facilities for your comfort and service, but don't be dependent on them, because nowadays we are so much used to phone, car, television, etc. So if there is No car, I should not complain that, oh, no car today. I can't do this, I can't do that. Nowadays, in Sri Lanka, they don't get petrol, gas, electricity. So they are cooking on wood fire. So we might have to revert to ancient time when there were no science facilities and be happy. Our happiness should not reduce because we don't have facilities. Next question is, do you feel it is a good idea to have some preparation for no power or electricity, water, food, etc.? I'm asking this as many BKs who set up radio contact to Madhuban, etc., have now left the body, and doesn't seem to be anyone with the skill to take over. As I said in the previous question, we should keep lantern so that if there is no electricity, we can use lantern. Water, I think we may not get clean water, but in army, they have got certain filter who can clear the water. So I think it's good to have something like that. For food, Baba has always said, keep storage of water as well as food. But in Asia, you can plant banana tree, papaya tree, etc., coconut tree, because that will give you pure water as well as some or other support. And radio contact to Madhuban. If anybody can be trained, it may be good because Lura has got the facility but not the operator. So if somebody can learn the technique, it's good. Next is internet. Internet is the main part of life. And paperless seems the way to go. Should be having morely storage on paper and classes, etc., for final times. Or do you think it will be too chaotic and service will be the main subject? It's good to keep some paper only, but main thing will be at the chaotic time, our yoga power, our total disinterest in the whole world. So as we practice bodiless stage and Baba's remembrance, we can go beyond even bodily needs like food, pain, etc. Service will be only through mind, but that also can be done by whoever is in a powerful stage. Next question is, what methods can we use to focus, concentrate, and make our meditation powerful? Deep love for Baba, because deeper my love for Baba, I can merge in Baba's love and remembrance. Love for solitude, because at the moment, as soon as we are free, we start surfing through internet. But now more than internet news, we should be, as soon as we are free, remember Baba. And we need economy of thoughts, words, action that can help us to be more powerful. And determine aim that I should remember none but one. Next question. Do we need to make effort to create golden age, or just work on our sanskar and nature? Golden age will be made by advanced party. We have to make effort to make ourselves satopradhan and make others around us satopradhan, and the nature also satopradhan. Because nowadays people are focusing a lot on the trees and plants and all. Green people, some of them, they love trees, they hug trees, but at least we can give drishti to the trees. Next question is, do you feel it is important to keep centers as our base and go there as much as we can to create a powerful atmosphere? I am asking this as souls seem to think we have to do this at home too, and so therefore they come to center less than before. Yes, I know. Nowadays, Brahmins have been easy and lazy. They are used to get Murli at home, online, and so they think, let us sit at home and listen to the Murli. But listening Murli at home and in center makes a lot of difference. The atmosphere, company makes a lot of difference. So 23 hours you are at home, but at least 1 hour everybody should go to the center and create powerful atmosphere. It will help you as well as others who are around you. Om Shanti. Now, Maureen, whatever you got, question in chat box.
Okay, I've got a few questions in the chat box. The first question that came in was, Baba says, if Brahmins get angry, we become cremators. What does it mean to become a cremator?
Cremator is lowest status, who burn the bodies. So, those who are good Brahmins studying and making good efforts, they will become rulers. Some will become subject. Some will become rich subject. Some will become servant. And among servant also, cremators are the lowest job of burning the body.
Okay. So, Didi said in the class, aim to have 8 hours yoga. What about Murli class, participating in seniors classes, giving classes, workshops, etc.? Does it have to be sitting in yoga? Because Baba says we are karma yogis.
I wouldn't consider them as a part of yoga. 8 hours sitting yoga means just remembering Baba, not listening to Murli or classes and all this. That's separate. That time you may have yoga, but it won't be powerful.
Okay.
And you are just focusing on Baba, that's the powerful yoga.
Okay. So people and BKs today, too, day by day, are getting sensitive under the influence of the vices. How should we become sensible to sensitive situations, like or people? So give some examples of where Didi has handled these situations, real life examples. So I think if there's a sensitive situation, how do we become sensible rather than, I guess, fear or something like that coming?
When we are having self-respect, we will be sensible, knowledgeful, sensible. Knowledge has to be implemented in a practical life because people sometimes expect respect, appreciation for what they are doing. And if they are not appreciated or praised for what they have done, they may feel upset. So that's where we have to see. Baba says, don't listen to evil. If somebody is defaming you, then also don't get upset. If somebody is praising, don't feel proud. You have to remain in a stage of equanimity, whether praise, whether defame, whether profit, whether loss, whether success, whether failure. We have to remain stable. Just remain observer of the drama.
So the next question is, will the confluence age be complete by 2036? Putting on your clairvoyance and scars.
Baba approximately gives a figure. It doesn't mean exactly 100 years of confluence. I envisage destruction may happen earlier than that. So we have to be ever ready. That's what Baba says, remain ever ready, not wait till 2036.
Mm. So, and this question is, now the situation is getting worse, is it possible to allow us to visit Madhuban anytime, not only in the Madhuban season?
I would say Shantivan, Manoinivan, all are Madhuban complex. So anytime any Brahman can come, not only in double foreigner season, but they may not be allowed to be in Pandav Bhavan or Gyan Sarovar, as we are fully booked at the moment. But at the time of destruction, nobody will stop anyone.
Will there be anyone there, Didi, to do anything for us, or will we have to do it ourselves? Will there be anyone in Madhuban to do anything for us, or we have to do everything ourselves?
Of course,
Okay.
we will have to do everything. But there will be permanent Brahman, but whether they can cope with influx of so many Brahmins from India and abroad, we don't know what will be the situation. So we have to be ever ready. There may be food, there may not be food. At the moment, luckily, we are able to store for 2 years. So there may be food, but whether there will be cook or not, don't know.
Okay. So this is a very apt question that's coming up next then. Says Didi, I stay in a university hostel with Lokic friends. I cook in the rice cooker and offer food to Baba on my plate before I eat. Is that allowed? Because some BKs told me I should not offer if I'm staying with Lokic people. Can you clarify this, please?
Offering in your own plate is no problem,
Mm.
but just don't cook rice. add some sabji, some dal, make khichdi, mix of dal, sabji, and rice, so that it is a balanced diet.
And this is the last question. Oh no, there's three more after this one. So in Murley's, Baba says to commit suicide is the greatest sin. What about giving a death sentence for some offence? From the spiritual point, is it also considered to be a sin?
Yes, it is wrong to commit suicide. In bhakti, they say, if you commit suicide in one birth, you will commit suicide for 7 births. Since you are not clearing your karma and running away from your karma, so you will have to carry on your sinful karma until you finish it. So it is said not to commit sin, and especially this Brahman life is so valuable. And in this valuable life, we should use each and every moment for creating our fortune and not get fed up of some problems.
Okay. Now this is another good question to follow this. So there's so much stigma attached to Brahmins when they're diagnosed with depression, anxiety, grief, trauma, etc. Some instruments are even openly telling students that Brahmins don't need counselling when there is clearly a need to. What does Didi feel about this?
I didn't follow the question.
Well, the word stigma, like there's so much stigma attached to Brahmins when they are diagnosed with depression, anxiety, grief, trauma, etc. Some instruments are even openly telling the student that Brahmins don't need counselling when there's clearly a need to. What does Didi feel about this?
Brahmins are
Well,
last.
no, some teachers are telling the Brahmins, the students, they don't need counselling, but there's clearly a need. What do you feel about this?
They should not translate it.
Pardon? They should not translate it. No, some teachers are telling the students not to get counselling.
Not to?
Not to get counselling when there's clearly a need to.
Achha.
Do you understand? And so what do you feel about that?
I always advise people that if by meditation you are not able to help yourself and be happy, then we should get counseling or psychiatric help, because meditation cannot help in psychiatric diseases. So we have to take help.
Good. I'll come back to that one. This is another question. Didi, will everyone go through the test paper of wandering souls at the end, or only if I have karma with wandering souls?
Not everybody will have to face wandering souls. Those who have karma, they will have to face.
Okay. And I've got 2 messages here saying it's a happy Father's Day. So was it Father's Day in Malaysia today? Everywhere, is it? It's not here. Yeah, so it's saying Happy Father's Day. Didi, what's your message for fathers? But I'm not sure. Oh, someone's saying yes, that it's Father's Day. Yeah.
Okay. Baba is our great father, Parlokik father. Brahma Baba is Alaukik father and Laukik father who has sustained the children physically and spent time, money, energy for children's education and upbringing. Children are grateful to them, and we should not forget Alaukik and Parlokik father. Thank all the three fathers for whatever they are doing.
And this will be the last question. If I have a fear towards something, will I face that at the end? So the example is like a snake or something like that.
Yes, whatever you have fear, you may not have to face it in the end. But what I have seen is past life experience creates that fear. Those who had death while flying, they may have fear of flying. Those who had death drowning last birth, they may fear of water. Those who have fallen from height, they may have fear for height. So they are already facing that situation now. So I don't think they will have to have any additional test at the end.
So there is a couple of questions that have come in, but they're not quite related to this topic. So
It's
do you want? All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it is mentioned that Brahma Baba did not understand his role as the instrument of God at first. He only knew it much later. Is this true? If so, when did he realize his role accurately?
Yeah. In the beginning, he didn't know what's happening. People would get vision of Vishnu or Krishna through him. He didn't know what is happening. But later on, through trance messenger, he was able to realize that he is going to be Krishna in future. So his future role, he realized, and he could understand that Shiv Baba has taken him as a medium. So it took him time to realize that.
Okay, and this question is past life regression necessary for BK souls to heal, or is just meditation enough?
Can you repeat it?
So is past life regression necessary for BK souls, or is just meditation enough to heal? heal means sometimes we need to go over something, like if and people get regressed, hypnotized,
We have to resort to both the things, medicine and meditation.
Mm.
Only meditation will not help us, our healing.
Okay. And last question, please explain the balance of love and law.
We need to balance love and law. We have to implement law also lovefully. Because if we are just loveful, especially children will not get discipline. They will think, Bum doesn't say anything, let's do whatever we want. So, especially mothers have to be loveful and lawful to children. School teachers also have to be loveful and lawful to students. Otherwise, students won't listen. So, love is good, but law also should be implemented.
So that's all the questions, Didi, but I just wanted to know, will you be able to give us a little bit of news about what's happening in Gyan Sarovar or Shantivan or Pandavavan? I've got a few minutes.
In Gyan Sarovar, we are having new group of bhattis. Every Friday they come, Tuesday they return. In Pandav Bhavan also, 200 people come every week for 5 days bhatti. In Shantivan, variety programs are happening because usually at this time we have conferences of wings, but because we have arranged bhattis in Gyan Sarovar, the conferences have shifted in Shantivan. Yesterday, Sant Sammelan has started in Shantivan, and about 50 saints and sadhu Mahatma have come to Shantivan. So yesterday was welcome program. Today is their inauguration. And on 21st, there will be finishing Sant Sammelan. And Shantivan, the bhattis are also happening because now they got Manmohini Auditorium as well as they have built Man Sarovar for bhattis. So bhattis are happening. CAD program, cardiovascular disease. For that, Dr. Satish Gupta also keeps on taking. So Shantivan is also busy with different programs.
Okay, are you doing anything for the International Day of Yoga, which is on?
Usually, we do some exercise in the garden.
Do you film it? Does it get filmed and sent somewhere, or?
Here in our garden, Pandav Bhavan will do, in Om Shanti Bhavan and Shantivan, they may do it near alone in conference hall. So we do something.
Okay, that's nice. All right, well, Didi, we've run out of time. It's 2 minutes to go. So thank you very much for your sharing and answering those questions quite precisely. And because I got my words mixed up at the beginning, I just wanted to apologise and say that Didi is actually the regional coordinator of Australia, New Zealand and Southeast Asia, because I couldn't get it out at the beginning. So are we going to finish with meditation? It's actually International Day of Yoga today, or World Meditation Day. So are we finishing with meditation?
Cool and sweet, quiet place.